welcome to Book Clients from Social Media in 1 hour per day. This is a masterclass for coaches, consultants, healers, any online service providers really, who want a simple and streamlined way to book clients without having to worry about funnels, ads, cold DMs, sales and discovery calls, or spending hours engaging on social media. Sorry, I forgot to turn my sound off so I could hear myself. Anyway, we're all sorted now. All right, so today you are quite simply going to be learning a simple, proven system to attract and pre-sell your services to those high-quality, amazing clients that you are looking for. So here's what we're going to be covering today. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Anne. And I am all about making things as simple as possible for my clients to be able to book their own clients. We shouldn't have to spend hours and hours and hours on our sales and marketing. Our gifts are best used when we are serving our clients. So that is my mission, to help coaches and online service providers to be able to serve as many clients as they can, as they want to, in as simple, streamlined way as possible. So here's what we're going to cover. The biggest mistakes that keep coaches stuck in marketer mode instead of client mode. We will chat about why leads are not converting into clients, even when they say that they love your content. And then we'll go through a streamlined daily process to book high-ticket clients from social media in just 1 hour per day. So what I'm going to do is give you an overview of the process first, and then we'll get into some details. So this looks like a bit of a target on your screen, but it's not. It's just a visual representation. And you'll see in the middle that there is a 10K. Now, I don't talk much about numbers. Every business coach out there talks about 6 figures, multi-6 figures, 7 figures, 10K, 20K, and so on. And I don't talk about that for 2 reasons. Firstly, everyone else is talking about it. I like to do things differently. But secondly, when we attach to getting a specific number, we tend to over attach to that. And when we are not getting what we want, it makes us desperate. It makes us push harder and harder and harder, and not always in a good way. Often when we get over attached to something, we end up repelling it. We push it away. So my approach is to rather focus on number of clients and the lifestyle that you want to live. So if you're anything like me, you need enough to be comfortable and to not have to worry about money, right? Most of my clients feel the same way. So it's all about being able to do things in a way that allows us to serve the amazing clients we want and live the lifestyle that we want as well. But for purposes of this workshop, I put the 10K in there just to give us a goal to work towards. All right. Now, if you are not booking the number of clients that you want consistently, it's not because you're not good at what you do. It's because you're stuck in the cycle that makes business growth and client getting difficult. You're stuck there without even realizing. So there are typically 3 mistakes that we make that lead to this, that keep us stuck. The first one is a lack of clarity, and I've bundled fear in with this as well. Now, not knowing exactly who you are best suited to serve is probably the biggest one. When you are not clear on who your best fit client is, you tend to try and appeal to a wide market. When you do this, prospects don't see themselves in your message because it feels generic. Then you have this fear that if you get specific, you're not going to be able to deliver on your promises, which creates resistance to marketing and selling, because no one with a good conscience will actively market and sell something they don't believe in. They don't believe they can deliver on, okay? And then on the other side of that, you have this fear that if you take on many clients, you'll be overwhelmed and you'll get bogged down in the fulfillment and you won't have time for anything else. Okay. The second one is quite simply, you don't have enough leads. You don't have a process to have consistent lead flow through your business. Maybe you market sporadically. So when you have clients, you stop marketing because you're busy serving your clients. Then as your client contracts are kind of running out, you suddenly realize you have to start marketing again. And you're scrambling, right? Otherwise, maybe you rely on referrals, or you hope that people just show up. Hope is not a good strategy. And my opinion on referrals is they are amazing, but they are not a marketing strategy. I want you to think of them as like the cherry on the top. Okay. So if this is you, you're caught up in that feast and famine cycle, you're scrambling for leads when the pipeline dries up. Your income is unpredictable and it's stressful being in this situation. Then the next one we have is an awkward sales process. If you are somewhat new to running your own business, maybe this is the first time you are kind of trying to make sales and you're putting yourself out there and you feel like you have to sell yourself and it's awkward, it's uncomfortable. You're asking people to believe in you when you haven't really had to do that before. And for those of you who are more seasoned in business, you've been through some coaching programs, you've done the training, maybe you've been given a sales script to follow that you don't like, that you don't enjoy. Like for me, when I first got into the coaching industry, I invested 5 figures in this group coaching program where I thought they were going to help me get to the magical 6-figure mark very, very quickly. They didn't. Anyway, they gave me a 7-figure sales script to follow that I believed I had to take my clients through on a call if that's how I was going to book clients and actually make money in the coaching industry. 30 sales calls in a row and not one yes. It was soul destroying. And now I know better. I know there were a few reasons why that happened, okay? One of them was the fact that this process made me feel so uncomfortable. I hated it. I literally felt nauseous every time I had to get on a call with someone. I would secretly wish that they would cancel. It's really not a great place to be if you're trying to build a business, right? Thankfully, I've found a better way after learning the hard way, which is kind of what I'm showing you today as well. So you don't want to have an awkward sales process. Maybe another reason is you just feel awkward asking for money, or you get uncomfortable when you have to handle objections. Maybe you're lacking in confidence in your ability to deliver on the results that your prospect wants. So in that case, at the end of the sales call, your prospects will leave confused, overwhelmed because they've got all this information they have to work through, or unconvinced. And the whole process becomes a stressful pitch instead of a natural sales conversation. And most coaches are talking to unqualified prospects or prospects who are not a good fit to work with, which makes this whole process even more awkward and exhausting. So I'm not sure which one of these is most relevant to you. And if you want, you're welcome to pop it in the chat. I will have a look at comments at the end. But in other case, we will move on. So what we want to get to is the opposite of all of these mistakes, right? The first one is we want to go from a lack of clarity and fear to certainty and confidence. So to do this, we want to define exactly what it is you do and who you serve. You want to have clarity on the results that you can help clients achieve. You want to have a process to guide your clients through to get them to the outcome they want. And it's got to be a process that feels light and enjoyable for you too, so that you don't feel bogged down in fulfillment. Okay, this needs to be a process focused on your strengths and your gifts. Then the next one, we want to go from not enough leads to having a consistent daily pipeline of leads. You want to implement a steady, predictable system that generates leads for you every single day. This way, you never have to rely on sporadic marketing or word of mouth alone. Your calendar will stay full of clients. And of course, the third one, we want to go from that awkward sales to natural, easy sales conversations that feel good for both you and your prospects. Ditch the high pressure scripted sales calls. Implement something that feels natural, more conversational, that better fits you. And you want to make sure you're only speaking to qualified prospects. This way, you're not wasting time talking to people who would never ever be a good fit to work with you anyway. To take this one step further, okay, to get the certainty and confidence, we want to be clear on who you're best suited to serve. Again, this is going to be based on your skills, your expertise, who you enjoy working with, and then the types of people who would benefit the most from working with you and what they already need to have in place to get the results. There's an intersection that needs to happen here. Okay, once you have that clarity, you can then go and create an outcomes-based easy yes offer that has a step-by-step process to get your clients to the end result that they want. So this way, you're clear on your market, you know exactly who you're talking to in your marketing, you are confident in your ability to deliver results. Makes the whole process so much easier. Okay, the next thing you want is to have content that pre-sells your services. Okay, this is content that talks about your program, your process, how it solves their problems, how it helps them get what they want. And of course, you want it to handle objections. This does two things for you when you get it right. It demonstrates your expertise, how well you understand your market, and it shows them why you are the person that they need. It also filters out all the people who are not a good fit for you, calls in those people who are. Okay? From there, we want to make invitations for the right people to reach out about our program if they're interested. Within this, we also want to make sure we're building our audience so that there are fresh eyes on our content every single day. And now this is where the fun really starts. Okay. When we make those invitations and the right people reach out, it's now up to us to qualify them, to make sure that they are indeed a good fit for us to work with and that we can get them the results that they want. We do this by asking a couple of quick questions, super easy for them to answer, and the answers to these questions will let us know if they are a good fit or not. Okay, when they are the right fit, we send a PDF or a Google Doc with all the details of our program. They get to review it, they get to think about it, and they get to make a decision in their own time. And let me tell you, when they're pre-sold, because your marketing is doing all the selling for you, this process happens really, really quickly. Okay, they don't need much time to think about it. And with this process, there is no pressure. They have absolute clarity. You're not wasting time on long calls with people who are never going to say yes in the first place. And it removes all that awkwardness and pressure. It's a simple, natural conversation. And of course, some of my clients, they don't like doing everything in the DMs. They still want that face-to-face connection. So you can absolutely get on a call, qualify your prospects, give them the details, or then send them the PDF. Okay, I'm not saying never get on calls with people before you work with them. But this whole process, it's simple, it's natural, and it's a lot better than the 7-figure scripted sales process, in my opinion. All right. So that was the big picture overview for you. We're going to go into some more details now with a step-by-step system that kind of brings everything together. I call this the desire framework. And the desire framework basically creates demand for your services, and that demand then creates clients. The very first step in the desire framework is D. Define your best fit clients. Okay. Now, many people have misconception about what a best fit client might look like. It is not your 2018 ideal client avatar where you had to give the person a name, have a picture of what they might look like, know what pets they have, how many children they have, where they live, what car they drive. what magazines they read. That stuff is not important. Okay. Sure, in some cases, we might need to know certain information about their demographics, but the important part, the most important part, is their psychographics. You want to understand their situation, what they're experiencing, what they don't like. In other words, you want to be clear on what their version of hell is. Their point A. It's where they are now that they don't want to be. Okay. Then you want to understand where it is that they want to get to, their point B or their version of heaven. You want to be clear on your own process to get them to that end result, as we mentioned. And you also want to be very, very clear on what they already need to have in place to get the results as quickly as possible from working with you. So if you have been working with clients and you haven't defined who your best fit client is yet, and I'll be very honest with you, if you're a newer coach, you need to work with different types of people to refine your skills, refine your services, and get that understanding of who you're best suited to work with. But when you've worked with a number of clients, eventually you'll see some of them might get amazing results really quickly. Some of them might not get any results at all. Some of them might not complete the process. They'll drop off part way. So you want to have a look at this data and use it going forward to determine who your best fit really is. And it's going to be the people who you loved working with, who got the results quickly, and they would have had certain things in place already, certain knowledge, certain physical things, certain attributes, certain qualities about them to be able to get the results as quickly as possible. Okay. So here is a couple of examples for you. When it comes to mindset coaching, as an example, a broad target market, a broad client avatar could be individuals who feel held back by negative self-talk and limiting beliefs. They're interested in breaking free from self-sabotaging patterns, but may have tried generic self-help advice without long-lasting results. Okay, so it's someone who has limiting beliefs, negative self-talk, and they just keep self-sabotaging. That's broad. Okay. Then to get more specific, clearer on who that person could be, would be high achievers wanting to launch a course, but they're trapped in a cycle of self-doubt and procrastination with an inner critic constantly telling them that they're not good enough, and who would want to buy a course from them? Okay. Do you see how much more focused that is, how clear it is? So if you were to market to that person using pre-selling, they'll see themselves in your content, and we'll get into that a bit more just now. Now, the criteria that this person may have, and listen, I've just made this up, it might not be accurate at all, okay? But the criteria that I made up for this is this person has read all the self-help books, they've attended seminars to try and get a breakthrough, and nothing has worked for them so far. They're already self-aware, and they've experimented with various tools to help them move through their procrastination with no success so far. What they need is a step-by-step system to shift beliefs, silence the inner critic, and get them to take that old action so that they can move through the fear. Like I said, I made this up. Another example for you is relationship coaching, okay? A broad target market would be individuals who struggle to maintain deep, healthy romantic relationships who are tired of repeating the same patterns, okay? Broad. To get more specific, we could say we're targeting someone who keeps going through relationships that crumble under the weight of unresolved conflicts and emotional disconnect because they avoid tough conversations and they hope that the issues will go away on their own. So they're the typical avoider personality. Of course, issues don't just go away on their own, they get worse and worse and worse until the partner is eventually driven away. Do you see how specific that is? Now, again, I made it up, not a relationship coach. The criteria that I have made up for this person would be they need to have started noticing their own patterns and be aware of their communication issues, and they need to have at least read some self-help books or done some courses to help them with this. All right, moving on to the E for easy yes offer. I could probably do I could do a whole workshop on the easy yes offer, but I'm just going to give you the highlights for this right now. Most coaches are proposing to their clients on the first date. I always love my dating analogies because they're so easy to understand. All right, we create marriage proposal offers. It's like walking into a bar, meeting someone for the first time, getting down on one knee and asking them to get married straight away. You haven't even gone on a date yet. What you want to do instead is invite them to coffee, invite them for a drink, go on a first date. Now, when I talk about a marriage proposal offer, I'm talking about the length of time and how much you're trying to get done within it, not the price. So when I help my clients create easy yes offers, we're going for a price point of $2,000 to $5,000. Couple of reasons for this. Firstly, going back to the 10K, if we want 10K a month, which is a life-changing amount, it gives you that security, that stability, that confidence, that safety net, all right? If we had an offer that's less than $2,000, we're going to need a hang of a lot of leads to get to the 10K month. And let's face it, if you had a lot of leads, you wouldn't be listening to me right now, right? Okay, so there's that. The second reason is, I've forgotten what the second reason was, so I'll just move on. All right, we have a 2 to 5K price point. And obviously the information needs to match this. It's got to be that valuable to them. Ideally, you charge 10% of the overall, what they're going to save or what they're going to make based on working with you. Now, this first date offer is focused on one transformation. Most coaches in their marriage proposals, they're trying to go for mastery. There's two problems with this. Firstly, it's really overwhelming. If you are trying to get people to go into a year's program with you where you're going for mastery and you haven't done anything else together first, it's a big commitment. Okay? And what you rather want to do is take one piece, normally the first piece of that mastery, and you want to put that into an easy yes first date offer. All right. It's a result that you can help them achieve in 3 months or less. Okay. So with our marriage proposals as well, we tend to think that if we want to charge medium to high ticket, 2 to 5K, we've got to stuff all of, fill it with all this stuff, thinking that it will make it more valuable and more appealing. But this actually does the opposite. It creates overwhelm. And if people feel like they're going to have to spend too much time or energy working with you, if they're going to have all these videos to wade through, all these things to read and do, it's going to put them off. People want shortcuts, especially your higher value clients. They want shortcuts. They want stuff taken off their plates. They want to be able to get there as quickly as possible, doing as little as possible. All right. The other reason why our offers are not easy to say yes to is because there's no clear outcome, because we're not clear on who our best fit client is. It's vague. We've got too broad of a market. We are not being specific in who it is we're working with, and we're not clear on what it is that they want. So if prospects are not clear on what they're going to get from working with you, it's going to be a no. Okay, so we want to meet them where they're at. And what do they want in their language? We want to be specific. We've got to be able to point to it. Okay, so here's an example for you with the mindset coach example again. All right, the vague outcome would be you'll improve your mindset and overcome negative self-talk. A more specific outcome will be you will receive your personalized mindset mastery blueprint. This custom guide will detail your top 3 limiting beliefs, provide breakthrough affirmations, and outline a clear action plan to boost your confidence, helping you launch that course with absolute certainty and confidence. All right, again, I just made it up, but do you see how much more specific that is? The relationship coaching one, a vague outcome would be, you'll enhance your relationship and improve communication. Awesome. Here's a more specific outcome. You'll complete the relationship reinvention program and you'll walk away with a custom communication toolkit. This toolkit will have a tailored 4-step framework, conflict resolution scripts, and a personalized action plan that has helped couples reduce conflict by 40% and build those deep, lasting connections with their partners. Okay, do you see how much more specific that is? And then business coaching. I'll help you book more clients versus I'll help you implement the desire framework into your business so you can book 2 to 5 clients from social media every single month in just 1 hour per day without ads, funnels, tech, sales calls, or endless engagement. Notice how specific that is? That's my offer, by the way. If you're interested in the details, just pop clients in the chat and I'll reach out. I saw I had a comment, so I'm going to try and have a look at that very, very quickly. If you'll give me 1 sec. See, there's some people who have joined. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. So the next step is S. You want to speak to their symptoms. All right. Now we're clear on who we're serving, what they want. We have an offer that's easy to say yes to. It's time to level up our marketing. Most coaches speak to the problems that their market has without speaking to the tangible day-to-day symptoms that those problems are causing. I hope that makes sense. When you do this, prospects don't see themselves in your message because you're not speaking to the specific scenarios that they're facing. You're speaking more broadly. It's too vague. When your market doesn't see their exact tangible symptoms in your content, they are less likely to trust that you truly understand their situation. So when you speak to the symptoms, rather than getting straight into the root causes, you show that you understand them and their situation. You create that connection with them. You lower their resistance. And that's when you start getting comments like, oh my gosh, it's like you're inside my head. Or I felt like you were talking directly to me in that post. Have you ever had that? Pretty cool when it happens. So once you've connected with the symptoms, you can then, using your content, show them how those symptoms that they're experiencing are caused by the root problem. And then you can take it a step further and show them what to do to shift things. This is so powerful because it gives them the insights that they were missing. It demonstrates your expertise and it makes you become someone they want to see more from until they're ready to buy. This is how my clients and I are able to book 4-figure clients within a space of a week of connecting, because we connect, they read one post, it resonates, they read the next one, they read the next one, they binge until they're ready to buy, and then they reach out. Very important. The next step is I, install buying beliefs. What this means is that through your content, you're not just informing your market and giving them insights, but you're also transforming their mindset so that instead of them wondering if they're ready or if your solution will work for them, you help them feel that they are ready for this transformation. It will work for them and that your solution is the missing link. This is part of the content framework I give my clients. We do it through stories that mirror their journey. We also tackle potential objections directly in our content. That way you're not having to do it on a sales call. And with consistent, clear, and specific messaging about our program and the results that they're going to achieve. Okay, so you can only get to all of this by having that clarity on your best fit clients, having an easy yes offer, knowing who that person is on a deep level and understanding their situation. Okay, if you're trying to appeal to too many people, you can't do any of this. The R stands for repeatable client flow. So, of course, you want to move away from the feast and famine cycle and the ad hoc marketing and instead install a system that's going to consistently bring you new clients every single month. And it's got to be a system that's not going to take too much time or effort so that no matter what you've got going on in your life, in your business, you will remain consistent with this process. Again, when you're clear on your best fit client, you have an offer that they want, you're doing symptomatic marketing that installs the buying beliefs and handles objections, and you're actively building your audience every single day, you will have repeatable client flow because your content is doing all the heavy lifting for you in the sales process, pre-selling your services. And of course, this makes the selling part really natural, really easy, because by the time that prospect does reach out, they already understand how you can help them, what result they can expect from working with you, and how your process works. They'll be able to see it's something that they haven't tried before, because that's one of the big objections. I've already tried to get help with this and it didn't work. So you got to show them how you're different. All that's left for you to do at this point is qualify them to make sure you can help them get the results that they want and give them the final details of what working together would look like. So I mentioned this earlier. My clients and I typically do this process in 3 to 4 qualifying questions. We send the offer over on a PDF or a Google Doc. Prospect reads it, replies in their own time, which is really, really quickly because they already know they want in. Or again, if you prefer the face-to-face connection, you qualify on a call. It's 15 minutes versus an hour. Okay. This is how you get off those exhausting sales discovery calls that end in, I need to think about it, or I need to talk to my partner. Okay, this is how you go from closing 2 out of 10 prospects to closing 5 or more. The more dialed into your market you are, the better your offer is, the more dialed in your offer is, the better you get at pre-selling, the higher that close rate gets to. The E, the final part of the system, which is actually a natural byproduct of all the other stuff, is to establish your niche of one. So instead of feeling like you're just another coach desperately trying to stand out and shout louder than everybody else, you stand above them. You become the undisputed expert in a very specific area. You're not just a coach, you're the coach for your market. With all the other pieces in place, your content and messaging becomes so unique and targeted, especially when you mix in your own authentic personality, your quirks, your weirdness, embrace it. Okay, when you mix in your philosophy, your prospects will immediately recognize you as the go-to authority. You'll be magnetic. Being magnetic makes it much easier to book clients. So tying this all together for you. When you define your best fit client, you have an easy yes offer, you're speaking to their symptoms, you're installing those buying beliefs, you're setting up a repeatable client flow, and you have established your niche of one. You stand out as the go-to expert in your market, and you'll continuously attract pre-sold prospects who are eager and ready to work with you. Now, your action plan. When you've got all of this in place, and only when you've got all of this in place, you can book clients in 1 hour per day. Because you won't need to do the constant posting, engaging, sending messages, trying to build rapport, trying to get people on calls, long, exhausting calls that go nowhere, okay? You won't have to do all that stuff that you're doing now because you don't have the system in place. Okay, so the daily action plan looks like this. You come to your computer in the morning with a cup of coffee or tea or water, whatever works for you, okay? You open LinkedIn, you have a look at your messages. You reply to any messages you've got from prospects. Some of those, maybe they're asking for details. You start the qualifying process, 3 or 4 quick messages, or you arrange a call, okay? You look for the messages that tell you that they have qualified. You send the offer document or arrange a call, okay, wherever relevant. The next thing you do is have a look at all the comments on your content. Reply to them. The next step is to add new people to your audience, send some connection requests. LinkedIn gives you the ability to send 100 connection requests every single week. And you don't want to be sending random connection requests. You want to be looking for people who look like they could be your best fit clients. Just send those requests. Okay, we've got to be actively building our audience. It doesn't take long, 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, then you want to write and post a piece of content. So I like to do my content in advance. I will batch write it. And I find for me that process is actually a lot quicker. So I'll spend maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours max, writing out all my content for the next week or two. And then on the day when I'm ready to post it, I just go over it really, really quickly and make some tweaks, final adjustments, and then post it. Okay, it doesn't take long at all. Then you want to spend 5 to 10 minutes engaging on
For that, your phone needs
potential
a mobile Wi-Fi connection
Oh,
first.
sorry. Oh, my phone's doing strange things. It picked up that I was talking to it. Okay, then you want to spend 5 or 10 minutes engaging on your prospect's content. And from there, you can work with your clients or go and enjoy your day or work on another project. All right, it really does become that simple. So, would you like some help with this? You are so welcome to take everything I've shared here and see if you can figure it out on your own. But if you're ready to get this working for you now, I am here to help you. Drop clients in the comments. I will reach out, ask you a couple of really quick questions to make sure I can help you, and I'll send over all of the details. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If you have questions, message me. If you want the details of how we can work together, drop clients in the comments or send me a message. And yeah, thank you so much for being here with me. Until next time.